What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to talk about the little incident that happened in Florida, that is. So it was an illegal U turn that happened on the freeway. Essentially, it was a driver that had thought he could maneuver a big 53-foot trailer in a very tight and unauthorized way. And that didn't seem to work out as one would have hoped, regardless of what your thoughts are on the actual procedure itself. But of course, he shouldn't have done that. Of course, it was an illegal U-turn. Of course, it was not what you're taught to do. There's signs that tell you, if you should or shouldn't do something on the freeway. So this is all accurate, but the system itself has failed the American people, and respectfully, it would fail any country, not just the American people, but it would fail any country. The freeway laws, the driving laws, the commercial driving laws, but specifically for the USA, I really do believe that there was many factors that led to this chain of events that went on. One of the first things, yes, as you guys have heard, the driver was someone that came to the United States undocumented, illegally, according to what has been said. He entered illegally through Mexico into the United States, obtained a CDL driver's license, a commercial driver's license, and sat behind a rig, and now three people are no longer with us. Very sad news. Very very sad how it all trans evolved into what had happened, but a little bit of a concerning trend that is happening is people with a lack of respect for the public when they're behind the wheel. And so this typically will lead to these types of events, right? And then, of course, in addition to that, not showing remorse, not showing any kind of further emotions to what had transpired. Yes, that's an issue, but that's on a humility level, it's on a human level, it's on a humane level where it just seemed like there was a lack of empathy, there was a lack of, human emotions into what it all kind of, came to be on the other end. In addition to that, this was also a systemic failure when it comes to commercial driver's licenses, qualifications, the testing procedures. Whoever had given this individual a driver's license is not in their right mind, because this shouldn't be occurring. So I'm not saying that person decided to make a U-turn a few years later after this guy had gotten his CDL, but what I am saying is there needs to be an in-depth analysis if this person is mentally stable or prepared to sit behind a wheel. Regardless of, I'm sure there will be people that look at this only from a race perspective. Regardless of all of that, on a human level, there needs to be an analysis of the individual that's about to get a commercial driver's license, because it definitely is a huge, huge, huge responsibility. Pilots, any kind of airman, actually, that's flying any size of aircraft, that comes with a huge responsibility. Okay, driving a big truck down the road, regardless of trailer type, if he was just bobtailing, it still comes with a very large responsibility. So, systemic failure on the commercial driving side of things in the state of California, and respectfully in the United States as well. This is also a systemic failure for immigration as well. Regardless of where this individual has come from, He could come from my home country of origin for all I care. It's just a matter of there's no sense of direction that a country is going in if we are not going to be applying identical laws to everybody that are trying to enter a country. There needs to be strict regulations of this stuff. The only divisions that there may be in terms of immigration should be in the severity of the application. So if someone is in a war-torn country immediately effective right now and needs to get the F out, that is a specific case that needs to be handled on a specific level. But if somebody is coming to whatever country, Canada, United States, whatever Western country, there needs to be a strict level of identification of this individual, who are they, and also a mental analysis of, is this person fit to even be amongst the public. From what I saw in some of these videos that are out there of the actual accident, I'm not going to show it myself, but you guys can go on YouTube. It's all over the place. It's in articles as well. There was just no remorse. So there was clearly something not clicking in the guy's brain. Something wasn't connected. And it has nothing to do with his religion, the color of his skin, his ethnicity or nationality. None of that. It's just on a human level, something was disconnected. And unfortunately, sadly, led to what had transpired. On the trucking side of the equation, the owner should be held responsible for the trucking company to whatever extent is necessary. They need to have a complete revision of their hiring laws. If they cannot prove that they are sane enough to run a trucking company from the human resources level, they need to have their ability to run a trucking company revoked. There is no excuses or exceptions to this rule. That's my opinion, of course. What do you guys think of all of this that had transpired? Do you guys feel like it's okay, it's just a numbers game, this could have happened to anybody? Or do you also feel, like I have stated in this video thus far, just on a systemic level, the commercial driving laws, the commercial driver's license laws, the enforcement of these laws, immigration, the regulation and compliance surrounding these topics, do you feel like those are what had eventually, through chain reactions, led to this, down this path that we have gotten on as well? I do want to give definitely a shout out to the East Indian community out there that today woke up or throughout the weekend had seen a lot of racism, a lot of, how can I say, sad views where they're calling on an entire race to be exported, an entire race to be sent elsewhere, an entire race to be deported, just because one human being made the ultimate mistake of their life, in my opinion, because of the system and not because of the race itself or the nationality. Like I said, I'm sure he had better plans for a better and brighter future, but mentally, I don't think this guy was prepared to sit behind a wheel. But in no way should where he came from and where he was born connect that to what had transpired years down the road, right? So that's my 2 cents worth on this topic. I would love to hear what you guys think. Am I the one drinking the Kool-Aid or not? And again, shout out to the East Indian community for the good people, the good folk that wake up every day and try to make a difference, not only for their families, but for also where they live, the country that they've chosen to call home, and leave everything they know and love behind elsewhere. If you guys would like, please share, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of different topics on this channel. It costs you nothing to give some support, but it also costs you nothing to give some constructive feedback as to how we can make this something better. Thank you very much, and looking forward to hearing what you guys think on this topic.